The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the season finale of NAL Now. I'm your host, Stephen Earl. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it has come to that time where it's time to just wrap it up. The season ends on Monday. And after this, a couple hours, you'll see some off-season news, obviously, at Inside the Arena and InsideTheArena.org, as well as some articles from me over at arenafootballtalk.weebly.com. But we're not going to hear no more NAL Now podcast. I mean, I'm trying to build my brand elsewhere, and that's what I'll be looking into during the NAL off-season. So this is it, the coup de grace. Let's get right into it. I want to start off today's season finale by talking about the MVP race. Now, everybody that follows the NAL, including me, knows that there are only two players left in the NAL race, and it's very close, too. It is so close, I can't even begin to explain how close it is. Lehigh Valley Steelhawk quarterback Warren Smith Jr. and Jacksonville Sharks running back Derek Ross. That's it. There's nobody else. Those are the only two players that run to the NAL race. The only two players that are up for the NAL MVP. The only two players deserving the NAL MVP. They've played the whole season. They've been, and I said this on my other shows. I've said it before to other people. MVP means most valuable player. You have to be valuable to your team. You have to be valuable to the league. You could be a great offensive player. It doesn't mean you're valuable. There's a difference between being great and being valuable. And Warren Smith has been very valuable to the Lehigh Valley Steelhawks for sure. But I want to start with Derek Ross. I want to start talking about Derek Ross. Derek Ross has rushed for 521 yards this season. That's tops in the league by far. The next best guy has 280 less rushing yards than Derek Ross. 280 yards less than Derek Ross. That is huge. That's a huge gap in any league, in any football league. If you lead the league in rushing by 280 yards, you are doing something right. So obviously Derek Ross is doing something right. It's crazy. And like I said, being an MVP means to be valuable. And people are going to listen to this and say, "Oh, you're saying it again." Yeah, I'm saying it again. The Sharks struggled offensively. Did you see how Damian Fleming has played since he took over Tom McGrady? Not good. Lots of off-target passes, lots of bad passes, lots of overthrown passes. The Sharks with Tom McGrady, with Mark Stout, they dominated opponents. Mark Stout got fired after the third 8-0. Tom McGrady broke his foot. He's out for the year. And the Sharks have not been the same since. It has been a different Sharks team since then. So everyone want to come say, "Oh, the Sharks aren't struggling." Yes, they are. Stop lying to yourself. But where the Sharks are not struggling offensively is in the running game. And that's thanks to Derek Ross. Derek Ross is keeping this team afloat. If it weren't for him, we would see Lehigh Valley playing Columbus in the NAL title game right now. Instead of the Sharks, we would definitely be seeing Lehigh Valley and Columbus. I'm a firm believer of that too, if it weren't for him. And then when you look at Warren Smith, you take Smith away from the Lehigh Valley Steelhawks, you don't know what you're going to get. I really think that without Warren Smith, there's no Lehigh Valley Steelhawks. That team is not dominating opponents. They're not winning games. They're not winning. So they won. They finished with a 6-game win streak before losing to the Lions. They're not getting that without Warren Smith. They have Darius Prince. Yes, they have Brandon Renford. But it's for any football team, the one that leads the team is the quarterback, not the wide receivers. The wide receivers are the big piece to the puzzle. But the quarterback is the big piece. That's the big piece to the offense is the quarterback. And if you don't have a good quarterback, you don't have a good team. And Warren Smith is a good quarterback. So that's what makes him very valuable to his team. makes him valuable to the league because without him, I'm about to say the NAL's not good, or this, that, and the other. Warren Smith makes the league good because you have all these teams that are so bad, like Corpus Christi was bad, Dayton or Atlanta, whatever you want to call them, Doom, the Wolfpack, whatever. The High Country Grizzlies didn't do so well, and we'll get to that later on the show. There's all these bad teams, and then you have teams like Jacksonville, Columbus, Lehigh Valley. Good teams. And Warren Smith made Lehigh Valley one of those good teams. He made them a good team. So you can't knock off Warren Smith at all for the NAL MVP race. In the NAL MVP race, it's him and it's Derrick Ross. That's it. There is nobody else that could possibly win this award. And I know I wrote an article about this on InsideArena.org on why Warren Smith will win the MVP, which will be announced, by the way, Sunday night at the league's inaugural awards banquet. So be sure to check into that. Tune into that. We'll have a news story about who wins the MVP over at InsideArena.org. I know I wrote the article that Warren Smith will win, and I wrote down why and all that. But really, I have to give the MVP award to Derrick Ross. I know it's crazy. You give a running back an MVP award, but he's just been so dominant. He's been so valuable, so valuable. It's not even close. It's insane how valuable he's been. He has been absolutely valuable to this team, to the league. He's keeping the Sharks afloat, pretty much, on offense. He is the Sharks. He is the most valuable player in the NAL, and he's clearly the most valuable player on the Sharks. So, my pick for NAL MVP, Derrick Ross, running back, Jacksonville Sharks. But that award will come Sunday night at the awards banquet down in Jacksonville, Florida, the night before the game. Then there's other awards that that poked my attention, got my attention, however you want to say it, such as Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year. This one's interesting. I think I'm just gonna go right into the Coach of the Year discussion. I'm giving it to Jason Gibson. Like there's no way nobody else wins this award. There's no way anybody else wins this award. Jason Gibson has earned this. Yeah, the Lions got off to a bad start, losing blowout style to the Sharks week 1. And then I believe they got off to the 1-4 start, but they haven't lost since. They just keep winning. And they keep doing well. And that's thanks to Coach G-Man with 2 quarterbacks, Mason Espinoza, and with Darren Daniel, 2 quarterbacks. Not just one, but 2 quarterbacks. Jason Gibson has found a way to lead his team to victory. Obviously, I would give it to Mark Stout if he was still the coach, but Mark Stout is not the coach anymore. Why? We still can't figure that out. We'll have to talk to Jeff Vochian about that. Look for that interview over on InsideArena.org. Coming soon. Coming up next, though, we have a special guest, I know I'm saying her name wrong, Alicia Noelle of the NAL Forum. She will join us next. NAL Now, we'll be right back.
Hello to all you Arena League football fans out there. I want to personally welcome you to join us, AFL Fan Zone, every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for a weekly recap of all things AFL. You got stuff to do on the weekends, which means you probably don't have time to sit down and watch every single game every week. That's where AFL Fan Zone comes in. Not only do we break down the week, but we provide you with everything you need to stay up to date with the AFL, including Players of the Week, Power Rankings, and the weekly standings. Best part is, the recap is fully interactive between the viewers and the host. Just search AFL Fan Zone on YouTube and you can find all of our archived videos, including game previews, recaps, and weekly updates. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and at our website at www.aflfanzone.com. AFL Fan Zone, your internet home for the best AFL fans.
Hi, I'm Donovan James, and welcome to the Don James High School Football Report, everybody, where we discuss and debate the hottest prep and college football recruiting topics in the country every week. Only here on NGSC Sports, 9:30 Eastern. For more, follow me on Twitter at DonJamesSports.
It's game time, boys, and we know football. Football the Max is the podcast for you if you want in-depth analysis over the NFL and college football. We preview all the action coming your way over the weekend. And we break down all the big action after it's happened. Plus, we tackle all the big news topics and discuss everything when it comes to the gridiron. So come check out Football to the Max every Tuesday morning and Friday morning on the W2M network.
Are you an arena football fan looking for the latest news involving your team? Inside the Arena has you covered. Check us out for the latest news around both the Arena Football League and the Chinese Arena Football League. Read all of our stellar articles at InsideTheArena.org. Also, follow us on Twitter at Inside_Arena and like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/InsideTheArena.
Welcome back, everybody, to the season finale of NAL Now. I'm your host, Stephen Err. Now joining us here on NAL Now is Alicia Noelle. If most of you know her from the National Arena League Forum, also the creator of the dashboard for NAL followers. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to talk some NAL football ahead of the big game on Monday night. So you live up in the Trenton area, and of course the city of Trenton is now getting their own Arena Football League team, the Jersey Flight.
That's right.
So I want to talk to you about their head coach, Jay Grande, who I asked to join me tonight but was unable to. So I'm sure you know more than I do about Jay Grande. What can you tell me about Mr. Jay Grande?
I actually don't know too much about him. I haven't really looked into him too much. I know that he was some type of assistant coach for Jacksonville last year or the year before. I know that he played at one point, but past that, I really didn't look into him too much.
Okay, well, I guess it's a good thing that I did then. He, as like you said, he did a lot of defensive coaching. I believe he did play defense as well. So I'm looking at this guy, I'm thinking defensive-minded coach. Now, I don't know much about the Jersey Flight. Obviously, they're a new team, and things are still in the infancy stage or what have you. But how long have you lived in Trenton?
My whole life.
So you know everything about the city of Trenton, New Jersey, and I grew up half hour outside of Trenton. And I didn't know now I'm going to ask you this, was there ever another Arena Football League team, a little Arena Football team in Trenton?
This is actually going to be our fourth attempt at holding an Arena Football team in Trenton.
Oh, wow, 4 times.
4 times. There was, let's see if I can get them all here. There was the Trenton Lightning, and I don't think they lasted a whole season, and that was back like maybe 2000, 2001.
Wow. Then
the Trenton Steel came in, and they were around for maybe a season or two, maybe a little more than that. And then 2014, 2015 seasons, the Trenton Freedom played, and now we're going to have the Flight. All at the same arena, all of this, I think we're calling it the Sun National Bank Center now.
Oh, yeah.
Right in downtown Trenton. So this will be the 4th attempt at arena football in the city.
All right, so obviously I was bringing you on to talk some Jersey Flight, but there's really nothing to talk about because we know nothing about them yet. So we're just going to flip over to the big game, and I see your Facebook profile picture is a logo of the Columbus Lions. So I assume you're going with the Lions to win the game Monday night?
I actually don't have a preference. My profile switched over to the Columbus logo because I bet one of their fans, Joey Drury, that if Lehigh beat Columbus, he had to have his profile with a Steelhawks logo. And if Columbus beat Lehigh, I had to switch to Columbus. So we all know that Columbus did pull it out in the last couple of minutes of that game. So I, on my word, switched over to Columbus. Obviously, I'd like to see Columbus win because they beat us, and they're another one of those smaller franchise teams, that surround the sport. But I'd also like to see Jacksonville win because I have a couple of players on there that I do enjoy watching. Everybody would like to see Derek Ross finally get his ring. So we'll see. We'll see who pulls it out.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see Derek Ross, who I just talked about winning the NAL MVP. See him get a ring, even though it wouldn't be in the Arena Football League, it would still be a championship ring. Now let's talk about that game, because you know what? I was watching that game, and I saw 21-0, and I said, okay, so like we expected, Sharks, Steelhawks, NAL title game. Then I fall asleep watching the game, unfortunately. I wake up, the Lions won. So, Alicia, I assume you were at the game, weren't you?
I was at the game.
So what can you tell me? What happened to the Steelhawks after that 21-point lead?
I don't know. I think that at one point there was just a communication breakdown, and the Lions came in and put the pressure on, and the Steelhawks just didn't communicate well enough with each other to bring it back up. So, I'm not sure why the coaching staff decided to play that squib play, that kick at the end when the kickoff, instead of trying to go for the deuce to tie it.
Right.
That's still the question on most people's minds, because at least you have a shot at that point, but that's not the play that we went, and the squib play didn't play out for us, so we ended up with that 2-point loss. But the Lions came out strong. They played a fantastic game the whole time, which I expected. I was not expecting them to just roll over.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it was going to be a fight to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little shocked by the outcome. You go out strong. Our receiver, Darius Prince, made first NAL team this year, and he was just crazy scoring. Warren Smith had an excellent game, and then all of a sudden, the last, half of the third quarter, the pressure goes on. They start making small mistakes. Fourth quarter rolls around, they're tied up, they take the lead, and that's the end of that. So I'm not really sure what happened. It seems to be a precedent with the Steelhawks. I've been around the Arena League, this natured league for the past 4 seasons. I've seen them kind of have that same fall in the playoffs when the pressure gets put on. So it's definitely something that they need to look into, whether it be coaching staff or players. I don't know. Luckily I don't have the position of their GM to make that decision, but there's definitely something that's not quite right in that situation.
Alicia Noelle, creator of the dashboard for NAL followers, joining us here on NAL Now season finale. So I was right before you came on, I was talking about how there's only 2 guys that could win the NAL MVP. Your guy, Warren Smith Jr., quarterback of the Lehigh Valley Steelhawks, and Derek Ross, running back for the Jacksonville Sharks. Who do you want to see win the MVP award?
That's a tough one. That's 2 fantastic players. Warren most definitely had one of the best seasons that I've ever witnessed him play. And again, I've known him for 4 years too. So this has been a really great season for him. He had, close to 2,000 yards with his passes and touchdown situations this year. But Derek's had a fantastic season also. He's leading the league in rushing touchdowns. He's always your go-to guy when it comes to, those shorter run in the touchdown, bait the quick play. So they're both equal candidates. They're both going to be a fantastic representative of the league. So I don't know. I wouldn't want to be in that position either to have to make that decision.
Okay, last question. You said you don't have a preference for who wins the NAL title game, but who do you think will win the title game this Monday night?
Oh, I think it's going to be Jacksonville. I really do. I think that they have that, I like to refer to them as that great wall of China, that O-line, and they just give their quarterbacks, that whole 8 seconds to make their decisions, and that really opens up the playing field for them. So unless the Columbus defense can get past them, I don't foresee them, letting much up. So that's going to be a big factor in this game.
Jacksonville Sharks host the Columbus Lions in the NAL title game this Monday night. Wow, it's already end of the season. I believe kickoff starts at 7:30. We will look into that. Alicia Noelle, founder of NAL. What's the group called? I'm drawing a blank.
Dashboard for NAL followers.
There you go. So if you're not part of that group and you're an NAL fan, you are certainly missing out. And she's also part of the National Arena League Forum run by Terry Gore. Alicia, I want to thank you for joining us here on the NAL Now season finale, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
No problem. Have a good night.
And you.
Bye-bye.
Good stuff. Alicia Noelle. I'm looking forward to the jersey. I'm from Jersey myself, so I'm looking forward to having. I'm looking forward to a team in New Jersey, because if I do wind up going back to New Jersey next summer, like the plan is, I'll be looking to go visit some flight games. Maybe talk to.
Are you still with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go to break. When we come back, we got some more hot topics. NAL Now, we'll be right back.
Hello to all you Arena League football fans out there. I want to personally welcome you to join us, AFL Fan Zone, every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for a weekly recap of all things AFL. You got stuff to do on the weekends, which means you probably don't have time to sit down and watch every single game every week. That's where AFL Fan Zone comes in. Not only do we break down the week, but we provide you with everything you need to stay up to date with the AFL, including Players of the Week, Power Rankings, and the weekly standings. Best part is, the recap is fully interactive between the viewers and the host. Just search AFL Fan Zone on YouTube and you can find all of our archived videos, including game previews, recaps, and weekly updates. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and at our website at www.aflfanzone.com. AFL Fan Zone, your internet home for the best AFL fans.
Hi, I'm Donovan James, and welcome to the Don James High School Football Report, everybody, where we discuss and debate the hottest prep and college football recruiting topics in the country every week. Only here on NGSC Sports, 9:30 Eastern. For more, follow me on Twitter at Don James Sports.
It's game time, boys, and we know football. Football to the Max is the podcast for you if you want in-depth analysis over the NFL and college football. We preview all the action coming your way over the weekend. And we break down all the big action after it's happened. Plus, we tackle all the big news topics and discuss everything when it comes to the gridiron. So come check out Football to the Max every Tuesday morning and Friday morning on the W2M network.
Are you an arena football fan looking for the latest news involving your team? Inside the Arena has you covered. Check us out for the latest news around both the Arena Football League and the Chinese Arena Football League. Read all of our stellar articles at InsideTheArena.org. Also, follow us on Twitter at Inside_Arena and like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/InsideTheArena.
Welcome back, everybody, to the NAL Now season finale. I'm your host, Stephen Earl. That was Alicia Noelle, creator of the Bashboard for NAL Now followers and member of the National Arena League Forum on Facebook. Good stuff from her. Wish she had known more about this Jersey flight, but, I mean, they're in their infancy. There hasn't even been a trial yet. So, man, when the show returns next season, we'll have to have her on, talk some Jersey flight, once everything's all set up and all that good stuff. But now we move on. Because since this whole thing was supposed to be a week-long thing and it didn't work out that way, I'm just talking about everything now. I want to talk about this week. What happened to High Country? The Grizzlies they started so well this year. And then I was like, okay, cool. They're being impressive. They're doing something well. I'm liking what I'm seeing. All this other stuff. So on and so forth. And then I don't know. I can't tell you what happened. I don't know what happened. They just fell off the rocker. That was it. They didn't do anything after a while, and that was it. They just fell apart. I mean, Steven Panisuk's not even with the team anymore for undisclosed reasons. Even Andre Hendricks. By the way, I have to give a congratulatory notice to Andre Hendricks for making the National Arena League All-Arena defense. I don't remember if it was first team or second team, but congratulations to Mr. Hendricks. Okay. So I don't know what happened with High Country. They had got off to just a pretty good start, and I was impressed because it was an expansion with expansion franchises. They don't normally do well. So seeing a High Country do so well this point at 4 weeks into the season, I was like, wow, this is a really good team, and I can't believe what I'm seeing. Like, I am surprised at this. I am very surprised at what I'm seeing from the High Country Grizzlies. Of course, they had the veteran quarterback, Steve Panasuk. But then you had Malachi Jones. I had never heard of him. And he was just dominating defenders all over the place. And Andre Hendricks was doing pretty well in the running game. And then after like I think it started 2-2. That was it. They got blown up by all their opponents except the Corpus Christi Raids and the Wolfpack / Doom, whatever you want to call them. So I can't figure. I still can't figure out what happened to the Grizzlies. It's just the same. I definitely looking forward to bigger, better things next season for them because they showed me. They showed me. I don't know. I hope they showed the league, but they showed me they can compete. Yeah, they did bad because their good players didn't play as well. And now their bad players, and eventually their bad players just left, like Panasuk. And with a new quarterback, Malachi Jones' numbers were down. I can't speak for Hendricks because I don't know what happened there. But I'm disappointed in what happened. Because after that, hot start I won't say hot start, it was a warm start by the Grizzlies. I was expecting big things, and they couldn't deliver. But I'll be expecting big things again next season. Speaking of next season, by the way, this Sunday, the rumor is this Sunday at halftime, the league is going to make expansion announcements. Everybody loves expansion announcements, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody. If you're an NAL fan, you're any football fan, whatever the case may be, you love this stuff. You love it. You want it. And there are really, as of right now, there are 2 teams I could see coming into the league next year. Besides the Jersey Flight, they'll be back. I mean, they're already going to be a new team. The Richmond Rough Riders and the Orlando Predators. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. The Rough Riders have played. They played their first season and the only season in the Arena Pro Football League. That was a 1-year league. Now that league and the Canadian American, better known as the Can-Am Indoor Football League, have merged. They are now the American Arena League. And now the Rough Riders are looking into different options. They could be looking into the American Arena League, or they could be looking into the National Arena League. They have not made a decision. And it's ironic that the leagues announcing their expansion teams this Monday at halftime of the game, because Richmond Rough Rider owner, I don't know his name, but the Richmond Rough Riders owner said this month the Rough Riders are going to make an announcement on which league they will be playing in 2018. Coincidence? I think not. As for Orlando, that's a very strong rumor that the Orlando Predators will be joining the NAL instead of going back to the Arena Football League after not playing the 2017 season. Strong rumors. It's going to happen pretty much that the Orlando Predators will join the NAL, whether it be this Monday night or 2-3 months from down the road. It's pretty much going to happen. They're going to join the NAL. Another question, and this is an interesting question that people might be thinking of. The Orlando Predators are joining the NAL where the Jacksonville Sharks always play. And the Sharks and Predators always were so competitive against one another in the Arena Football League. Does that mean they're going to compete against each other in the National Arena League? No. If you were to watch the Arena Football League in 2016, you would see what kind of team the Predators had. Randy Hibbard, Greg Carr, Brian Tompkins, all gone. They're all on different teams now. They're not going to join the Predators in the NAL. Especially Hibbard. Hibbard is enjoying the success in Tampa. He's not going to leave. Carr, he probably won't leave either. Probably because the money's better in Washington for the AFL. than it would be in the NAL with Orlando. And Tompkins is enjoying some success himself with the Baltimore Brigade of the AFL. So those guys, they're not coming back. Don't expect them. Tanner Varner, former Orlando Predator, he missed the 2016. He missed the end of the 2016 season due to injury. He won't be back. He's retired. So the Predators are coming back, most likely, and they're gonna have to rebuild ASAP. Like they're not coming back and competing with the Sharks. It's not gonna happen. Not going to happen at all. They're going to have to compete. They're going to have to rebuild. Excuse me, not compete. Rebuild. If they want to compete with the Sharks like they did last season. And if they don't, they won't compete. And once again, the Sharks will run the league. Because Tom McGrady will be back. Maybe they'll get rid of Siaha Burley. Fingers crossed. Because Siaha Burley is not a great coach. And I'll go to that at the end of the show. Which, by the way, I will also make my pick for the winner of the National Arena League title game. But up next, you know, you'll love him. Somewhat. No, I'm just kidding. My co-host of This Week in the AFL, Erik Watkins, will join us. And he has some really, really hot takes. NAL Now, I'll be right back.
Hello to all you Arena League football fans out there. I want to personally welcome you to join us, AFL Fan Zone, every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for a weekly recap of all things AFL. You got stuff to do on the weekends, which means you probably don't have time to sit down and watch every single game every week. That's where AFL Fan Zone comes in. Not only do we break down the week, but we provide you with everything you need to stay up to date with the AFL, including Players of the Week, Power Rankings, and the weekly standings. Best part is, the recap is fully interactive between the viewers and the host. Just search AFL Fan Zone on YouTube and you can find all of our archived videos, including game previews, recaps, and weekly updates. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and at our website at www.aflfanzone.com. AFL Fan Zone, your internet home for the best AFL fans.
Hi, I'm Donovan James, and welcome to the Don James High School Football Report, everybody, where we discuss and debate the hottest prep and college football recruiting topics in the country every week. Only here on NGSC Sports, 9:30 Eastern. For more, follow me on Twitter at Don James Sports.
It's game time, boys, and we know football. Football the Max is the podcast for you if you want in-depth analysis over the NFL and college football. We preview all the action coming your way over the weekend. And we break down all the big action after it's happened. Plus, we tackle all the big news topics and discuss everything when it comes to the gridiron. So come check out Football to the Max every Tuesday morning and Friday morning on the W2M network.
Are you an arena football fan looking for the latest news involving your team? Inside the Arena has you covered. Check us out for the latest news around both the Arena Football League and the Chinese Arena Football League. Read all of our stellar articles at InsideTheArena.org. Also, follow us on Twitter at Inside_Arena and like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/InsideTheArena.
Welcome back, everybody, to the NAL Now season finale. I'm your host, Stephen Err. Joining me now is my co-host of This Week in the AFL, as well as host of Point of Viewer, co-host of Soccer to the Max, and new co-host of Football to the Max over on W2Net.com, Mr. Erik Watkins. How you doing tonight, Erik?
Pretty good. I got a couple exciting different things going on. As you can see, I wear many hats, and oh boy, keeping me busy.
Oh yes, you are a busy man. I know last night you recorded 3 podcasts. I listened to 2 of those already, and I'm definitely going to listen to the next one as soon as we're done here on NAL Now. But earlier this season, and you wrote for the Sharks for NAL, you wrote for the Sharks for Inside the Arena, and you and I got to talking, and you were telling me how you don't really have faith in the NAL. Now, why don't you have faith in the NAL, Eric?
Well, it's for a couple of reasons. Number one, the motives behind this league. Now, say what you want about Jeff Bushi. I respect what he's able to pull off as a businessman.
Sure.
And as an owner. However, when you get to the point to where you're more interested, not even so much in your team, but in yourself and how you make money, that you make some rather rash decisions, in the end that comes out. Some of those decisions are why the NAL was formed, for, at least in my opinion, the benefit of the Sharks. Getting games, getting home games, and now they're on the precipice of a title. The reason why I don't have faith is because not just it was set up that way, but how quickly. Let's not forget, this league came together in the matter of a few months. All of a sudden it goes from not even in existence to having a schedule, having 8 teams, having your locations, and off you go. Now you look at through the course of the season, every team was set for a 12-game schedule. From what happened early on in Dayton, not finding a home arena, becoming a traveling team, and changing management twice, that did not happen. Corpus Christi, there were issues as far as the league traveling there. So, of all 8 teams, only 2, Jacksonville and Columbus, your title participants, played those 12 games. Corpus Christi looks like it's on the verge of folding. The Wolfpack, again, with management and being used as a kind of a feeder or a test for semi-pro teams throughout Georgia, that's potentially folding. So now within a year, you're down to 6 teams, 7 if you include Jersey coming into the league next year. This is the level of instability that has crippled, if not completely eliminated, other arena and indoor leagues. If the NAL survives to next season and beyond, great. But prima facie, with all of these issues and with the contracts favoring Jacksonville, especially now, I don't see that happening.
All right, so Erik sticking to his bold prediction that the NAL Now will not survive past this season, which ends on Monday night. So now, Erik, this got me thinking. You wrote for the Sharks, and they joined the upset. They joined the NAL. They're in the NAL. Mm-hmm. So let's say you are right. Let's say the NAL just says, "All right, we're done after one season." Mm-hmm. What happened then? What do you feel happens to the Sharks?
Personally, it depends on Jeff Bushi. If he is still involved in that franchise, they're going to find another league, if not build another league, and continue to hurt themselves. But if anybody around him is smart, knowing the arena, knowing that in a few months' time, this coming October, professional hockey is coming back to Jacksonville, as the Icemen will have moved from Evansville, Illinois, to here to play in the ECHL. That's 36 home dates that the arena is going to get, along with the Jacksonville Giants, ABA team, basketball, along with concerts and other venues. So now as you get to the early part of the season, this is in the thick of the ECHL late season and going into the playoffs. They're going to struggle for dates. The arena itself will be less and less interested. So if the powers that be are smart, it will be the end of the Sharks.
Wow. I did not expect that coming from you. I would think maybe you'd say, well, maybe they go back to the AFL or they try again for the IFL. They failed that after, well, we know why, but we won't go into that. Why they failed getting to the IFL. Well, you come out and say, if the NAL folds, and I did see that on Facebook that the Jacksonville Icemen are playing in the ECHL, and they'll be an affiliate of the Winnipeg Jets, by the way, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I didn't expect that affiliation, but okay.
And the Jacksonville Giants, which I have no idea who they are. But
a very dominant ABA team, just won back-to-back league championships and have been in the finals just 4 or 5 times in their brief existence. Very successful.
So that's interesting. I did not know about any of that, and obviously that's going to spell some trouble for the Sharks, even if they do play in the NAL next season. Like, how are they going to schedule home games with the Giants and the Icemen? It's going to be very difficult, for sure. So now, Erik Watkins, Sharks and Tampa Bay Storm writer, and my co-host of This Week in the AFL for InsideTheArena.org, joining me here on NAL Now season finale. Did you scratch your head when they fired Mark Stout with an 8-0 record too, or was it just me?
No, I was really worried and a little bit curious because, again, knowing Bushi's antics and what led legendary head coach Les Moss out the door during the end of their AFL tenure, I'm thinking, you're undefeated, but in looking at his last couple of games, I could tell that they were winning ugly. Bushi does not like to win ugly. Now, unfortunately, with some other dubious decisions that were made, no fault in new head coach Sire Burley, but in bringing in certain personnel, not only did you go from winning ugly, but you ruined what could be a perfect season. If you're not winning a certain way and you're not blowing everybody out like he expected to, he's going to change and shake things up. He loves building super staffs and super teams, and for a variety of reasons, through injury, through you name it, this wasn't that super team. So changes were made.
Big change there. The firing of head coach Mark Stout after an 8-0 start. Erik Watkins, Sharks writer for InsideTheArena.org, joining us here on the NAL season finale. I have one more question for you, Erik. Who do you see winning the NAL title game between the Sharks and the Columbus Lions this Monday night?
And I'm going to have a weird personal bias with this one, while I would love to see Columbus actually take it home, for a lot of reasons, I think the Sharks complete their mission, win the title, raise the trophy, and Bushi gets what he wants. Now, it's going to be sad because there's not going to be a lot of fans to see it, but it's going to be what should be at least somewhat of a good moment for Jacksonville sports.
Oh, for sure. And I don't know how you feel about it, but I definitely don't like the fact that the game's been playing on a Monday night. Like, it's a work night, it's a school night. If it was September, like you said, not going to be a lot of fans at this game.
No, and that's another thing to look at. Being in Jacksonville Veterans Memorial Arena, it's a good building. Is it one of the absolute best? No, but it's still a great place. You can get a lot of fans. Seeing AFL crowds of 7, 8, 9, 10,000 compared to looking at crowds now where they're closer to about 4,000 or 5,000, that just shows what quite a bit of a fall this franchise has taken when it wasn't necessary.
Well, Erik Watkins, Sharks and Tampa Bay Storm beat writer for InsideTheArena.org, my co-host of This Week in the AFL, as well as other podcasts here on WTNet.com. I want to thank you for taking your time out of your very busy schedule, Mr. Watkins, for joining us here on the NAL Now season finale. We will definitely talk soon. Thank you.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
All right. We're going to wrap up the show next. NAL Now season finale ends the year when we come back.
Hello to all you Arena League football fans out there. I want to personally welcome you to join us, AFL Fan Zone, every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for a weekly recap of all things AFL. You got stuff to do on the weekends, which means you probably don't have time to sit down and watch every single game every week. That's where AFL Fan Zone comes in. Not only do we break down the week, but we provide you with everything you need to stay up to date with the AFL, including Players of the Week, Power Rankings, and the weekly standings. Best part is, the recap is fully interactive between the viewers and the host. Just search AFL Fan Zone on YouTube and you can find all of our archived videos, including game previews, recaps, and weekly updates. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and at our website at www.aflfanzone.com. AFL Fan Zone, your internet home for the best AFL fans.
Hi, I'm Donovan James, and welcome to the Don James High School Football Report, everybody, where we discuss and debate the hottest prep and college football recruiting topics in the country every week. Only here on NGSC Sports, 9:30 Eastern. For more, follow me on Twitter at Don James Sports.
It's game time, boys, and we know football. Football the Max is the podcast for you if you want in-depth analysis over the NFL and college football. We preview all the action coming your way over the weekend. And we break down all the big action after it's happened. Plus, we tackle all the big news topics and discuss everything when it comes to the gridiron. So come check out Football to the Max every Tuesday morning and Friday morning on the W2M network.
Are you an arena football fan looking for the latest news involving your team? Inside the Arena has you covered. Check us out for the latest news around both the Arena Football League and the Chinese Arena Football League. Read all of our stellar articles at InsideTheArena.org. Also, follow us on Twitter at Inside_Arena and like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/InsideTheArena.
Welcome back to the NAL season finale. I'm your host, Stephen Err. I was thinking about that interview during commercial break while I was talking to Erik, and it got me thinking. You know, the Sharks have a lot of problems. Obviously, I've said this. I've been saying the same thing, that they have the same problem. They have a lot of problems. And it got me thinking. And I know I said the Sharks would dominate the NAL next year because the Predators won't be the same, all that good stuff. But how dominant will the Sharks actually be? I mean, you saw how they played this year. I mean, the offense will be fine. They have Tom McGrady coming back from his broken foot. They'll be fine. But what they're missing is one really big piece right here. And that's the cornerback. Marvin Ross joined the Sharks after winning the Geico Arena Football League Rookie of the Year with the Cleveland Gladiators in 2016. And he continued to dominate on defense with the Sharks. Then he took his talents up north. Took his talents to the CFL. I do believe he's playing with the BC Lions. I'm probably wrong on that, but he's in the CFL right now doing his thing up there. So with Marvin Ross, he led that team. He was the leader of that team on the defensive line, the secondary, the middle linebacker. It don't matter. He led that defense. Words of encouragement, showing them how it's done, whatever the case may be. It was Marvin Ross's defense. Now he's gone. The defense is like, okay, who's our leader now? Oh, we don't have one. And that's why they're falling apart. That's why they've been falling apart since they fired Mark Stout. Since they lost Marvin Ross as well. Just hasn't been good for that defense. They have not been the same since Marvin Ross left. They will need to find, for sure, a replacement for Marvin Ross. That's going to be very difficult, by the way. Replacing someone like Marvin Ross is not easy at all. And like I said earlier in the show, not only that, but they cannot keep Sia Haberle. Fingers crossed that they get rid of him. Sia Haberle, and I'll go into the AFL a little more, the reason that the Gladiators have struggled this year is because of Sia Haberle. When he left to take the Sharks job, the Cleveland Gladiators got better on offense. Now he's with the Sharks, and their offense has gotten worse. They have bad offense now, just like the Gladiators did when Burley was their offensive coordinator to start the 2017 Arena Football League season. So you can't. He's not a good coach. What can you do? He doesn't. I hate to say it, but he should be coaching, no matter what type of position it might be held. He might be holding. He shouldn't hold it. offensive coordinator, head coach, is not good for his team, the team he's coaching. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. The pièce de résistance. The coup de grace. The show, the season, has come to an end. And in the NAL title game this Monday night, my winner, drum roll please. That's a terrible drum roll. The Jacksonville Sharks will win the NAL title game. It's going to be close because the Lions have won 7 in a row, and they started 2 different quarterbacks. They have a great receiver in Tristan Purifoy. Mike Reeve has shown up big time. But the Sharks defense will hold. I mean, they did it against the Steel 2 weeks ago. Why not do it again now? I don't feel like anything has changed since that 2 week period, but I do feel the Sharks will win when Columbus is driving and a bad pass by Darren Daniel or Mason Espinoza, whoever starts this game, throws an interception in the final seconds to give the Sharks the win and their first title since 2011 when they beat the Arizona Rattlers and Arena Bowl 24. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I have the Jacksonville Sharks beating the Columbus Lions with the game-clinching interception in the final seconds. It's going to be a very good game. I want to thank everybody who has listened to NAL Now this season. I want to thank Alicia Noelle, Alicia Noelle, the creator of Bashboard for NAL Now followers and member of the National Arena League Forum, for joining us tonight. And, of course, I have to thank my co-host of This Week in the AFL, Erik Watkins, for joining us tonight with his bold predictions. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, to Inside the Arena and InsideTheArena.org for all NAL off-season news. Once again, thank you all for listening to the show during the season. It's been a pleasure to do this with you. I was supposed to have a co-host, but he bailed. Next season, I'm already starting to think about next season. Next week's season's preview, next week's shows, next week's season's guests. We are going to have a great second season covering the NAL for InsideTheArena.org. Until next year, this has been Stephen on NAL Now. Thank you all for listening. Goodbye.
The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.